the film, what'd you like from Dobbs?
Yeah, I thought he got in and out of the huddle really well, had good command of the offense, so was really excited about the progress he made and look for that to continue here this week.
How's it feel just to get that first week under your belt?
Good. I mean, obviously, wish it came out, in a different outcome, but I thought the guys went out there and competed really hard. I was really pleased with the way they responded to kind of the adversity throughout the game and the effort that they put forward, so a lot to build on.
Given how little time that Josh had to kind of work with you guys, did you guys keep a little bit more conservative for him and kind of slow roll him into it?
Yeah, I think every game comes up different from that standpoint, whether it's the quarterback or the opponent or kind of what we think we need to do to win the game. The plan's always going to kind of be based around those principles, and I don't think Sunday was any different.
Yesterday, Jonathan referenced negative yardage plays, which led a lot of times to third and really long, and some of those negative plays were on first down. First down was rough. What is your reaction to that after watching the tape?
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that kind of made it hard on offense for us was those negative plays. So I think just trying to correct that, find ways from a schematic standpoint to put guys in better position to be successful, and then certainly focus on the execution as well as we kind of go into next week.
When you look at the philosophy of first down, just generally, even if it's not just negative plays, but just being successful on first down, it's not talked about a whole lot.
Yeah, I think the success on first and second down. I think that's the big part of the plan. It's got to be a focus for us as an offense, as a staff, as we move forward into this week. So definitely going to emphasize that.
Is it fair to say that because of Washington's defensive front, you by design kind of did some behind-the-line plays to take some pressure off of Josh and the offense?
Yeah, I think anytime you play a D-line, with that ability, you're going to take that into account as you kind of put the plan together. So that certainly impacted kind of our mindset as we went into the football game.
What did Keontae show you? I mean, I know he got stuffed quite a bit, but was it anything in particular or just circumstance?
I think it was a lot of it was circumstance. I mean, I think that he runs really hard. I think we saw that throughout preseason, and it continued yesterday. Even when it wasn't there, he's given everything he has to fight for extra yards and continue to make it work. So was really pleased with his performance.
What did you take away from Paris?
Yeah, it was first time out there. I thought he did a really nice job. Obviously, that, as we talked about, that's a good front, and he was out there on an edge playing tackle, and I thought he competed, and I thought he played at a high level.
What do you think of penalty?
I grabbed him right when he came to the sideline and talked to him. It's hard. There's the emotional aspect of the football game, and he felt like someone was lying on the quarterback for too long. But we got to teach him that, and he's got to understand that, hey, no matter the circumstance or the emotion behind the game, we can't do that. We can't put the team in that position. He knows that. He responded really well to that, so got that corrected going forward.
What do you see out of Michael Wilson that impressed you?
Yeah, I thought similar to what we just talked about with Keontae. I mean, he really competed. I mean, he played a lot of snaps, effort never dropped, did everything he could to get open in his routes, competed really hard in the run game, finished plays really well. Like when the ball's thrown, whether it's coming his way or not, he's turning and looking for more work. So I was really encouraged by that.
Ertz was a main target. Looked like, I don't know if it was miscommunication or the throw. I mean, what'd you make from the connection or lack thereof with Dobbs?
Yeah, I thought Zach had a good day. I mean, obviously there's some plays I'm sure he would like back. There's some plays I would like back. There's some plays we all would like back. But I think he went out there, I mean, coming off the ACL, first time back out there, his first practice was basically Dobbs' first practice. So I think they've started to develop that relationship, and I would certainly expect that to continue.
Were you disappointed with how things went in that first game in terms of the production, or is it just one of those things where that happened to be that game?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think my mindset is always going to be if they score more points than us somewhere along the line, I'm going to be disappointed. And whether that's a ton of points or a small amount of points, my goal is to score one more than they do. And for whatever reason, on Sunday, we didn't do it. So I think there's certainly some disappointment in that. But there's a lot of things to be encouraged about in terms of the way guys performed individually, in terms of the way we handled the road environment. So I think there's some stuff to build on. But my message to those guys was, hey, we can be disappointed, but we're not down. And I think that has to be our mindset moving forward here this week as we go through the rest of the season.
Chances to win that game, even at the end. Is there a lot of reason for optimism, considering, if you take away the two fumbles by Josh, you're probably going to win this game?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, I think, and I know JG has said this, like, our goal, win or lose, is to improve every week. So as we look at the tape, as we figure out as coaches what we could do better schematically, put guys in better position to be successful, from an individual standpoint where we can clean up technique and decision-making, that's going to be our focus regardless of the outcome, but certainly a lot to be encouraged about in terms of the way the game went on Sunday.
John said that he hopes to take a big jump this week. What would that look like to you based on last week's performance?
Yeah, I think the operation in and out of huddle even being cleaner, crisper, a little bit more concise, and then I think just the familiarity with how guys are coming out of their breaks, where they're going to be down the field, how that relates to what we're trying to accomplish relative to the defense we're attacking, I think is going to be big, and I certainly think he took a lot of steps in a short amount of time, and really looking forward for that growth to continue.
Where on your wish level, 1 to 10, would explosives be for you as an offense?
Probably right behind points, because generally when you're creating yeah, that would probably be a good number. I think, generally when you're creating explosive plays, you're creating points. So we're going to look for creative ways to try to find and generate them. And certainly we have some players that we think are capable of doing that. So that's going to continue to be an emphasis every week.
Did you expect to have some hiccups this week, considering Josh only had 2 weeks with these guys, had not played with them in a full speed situation?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think a couple things. I think anytime, there's a limited amount of time on task in any aspect of the game, you're going to have a little bit of nuance or novelty to it's not going to be perfect in a lot of ways. But I think just knowing who he is, how we practiced, the way he prepared for 2 weeks, didn't expect a ton of it. And I thought they handled it for the most part really well on Sunday. So certainly expect that to continue.
Was it 6 practices and that's it for John? Is that what he got?
That sounds about right, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. It's remarkable. I mean, considering.
Yeah,
just
I
to
think
be
I think
able to
it,
be
it's
proud.
absolutely. I think it speaks to him as a person, as a player, and I think it speaks to the teammates he has. Those guys were there for him. They were there to work with him, to talk to him, to get on the same page with him. It wasn't an easy task, and I think they were up for it. So I was really encouraged by that.
Some of the passes that were off target from Josh, did you view those as maybe footwork, timing issues? Maybe he's just too amped up. What do you think was the main reason for that?
Yeah, I think it can be a lot of different things. I mean, sometimes it's the familiarity with the guy you're throwing to. Sometimes it's something they did on defense where, hey, they might have been in the window and you had to put a ball in a certain place. So I think we got to look back and try to correct some of the ones that are correctable. And look, there are times where balls just have to be in a tough spot, and it could be a tough catch or it can be an incompletion, and we have to live with some of that as well. So certainly something we're going to continue to look at.
As far as James' usage, is that something you look back and say, hey, maybe we could have leaned on him, or just flow of the game didn't allow that?
Yeah, I think obviously if we're winning there the last 4 or 5 minutes, he's going to get a lot of carries there down the stretch. So I thought was really encouraged by his performance. Certainly want to get him the ball. I think he's playing at a high level, so he's certainly a big part of who we are.
With the Giants, despite them not scoring last week, how much can you still glean from looking at their tape?
A lot. I mean, I think it's a really well coached team. Obviously things didn't go the way they wanted to week 1, but they got a lot of talent. I think they're really well coached. I think the scheme creates a lot of different problems. Certainly Wink was someone we played against when I was in Cleveland twice a year. Have a lot of respect for him and how he does things. So we got our hands full this week. We're going to get to work and get going here.